Now by Senator Dan Coats. He's a member of the Intelligence Committee, and importantly, he's the former U.S. ambassador to Germany and met with Angela Merkel and others when they were here just last week, and has a real understanding of the European Union's posture on all of this, and of course, Vladimir Putin. Senator, thank you very much. I want to ask you about what many of us are perceiving as perhaps Merkel's not personally reluctant, but is being pressured so heavily, as are the other European leaders, by business interests from moving to these next sanctions on the energy sector and finance and, the other banking interests, as well as arms dealers. Whether you think that sanctions have been too little, too late, too incremental, too late to really have a big effect on Vladimir Putin.
Well, clearly they've been too little, too late. They should have been imposed much earlier. It should go right to the Russia pocketbook, damage their economy. That is what is ultimately going to turn the tail here. I think that holding off till the 25th before you impose even new sanctions or any new, more effective sanctions is a mistake. We see what's happening there. Chaos is Putin's friend. Clearly disrupting the May 25th election and referendum is exactly what he wants to do. So we're playing right into his hands by not imposing sanctions that really hit him where it hurts, and that's in the economy.
And what about the argument from Treasury and from the administration, elsewhere in the administration, that it's already hurting Russia in its stock market, in the ruble, in its credit rating?
Well, obviously it's not hurting them enough, and I've joined Bob Corker, Kelly Ayotte, and some others here put forward a much tougher package of sanctions, as well as isolation, as well as support for NATO and support for Ukraine, that I think had that been imposed earlier or could be imposed now, it would make a major difference. But clearly what we have done to date has been too little, too late. It hasn't deterred Putin at all. We do know that going after the Russian economy is what ultimately is going to be a game changer in this case, and we haven't done that yet.
Well, did you say this to Angela Merkel? Because it is the Europeans who have pretty much held the president back.
I did say that to her. We had a very substantive discussion, about 2 hours worth, regarding all of this. Europe is different in that they have to get the consent of all 28 states or countries in the European Union. Nevertheless, she was very clear when asked the question about the business interests that she would not allow this to influence her decision. She is a tough lady. She can talk directly to Putin, but clearly just talking on the phone isn't going to do it this time. I think we need to impose those sanctions, impose it now. Republicans have come up with a major package. I think it will have bipartisan support, and I would like to see us move forward on this now and not waiting to see what happens. This whole narrative of, well, we now have to postpone the referendum because there's too much chaos, that's the chaos allowed by Russia. If Putin wanted to stop that chaos, he could.
And in fact, you don't have any doubt on the Intelligence Committee. I know you can't talk about sources and specific information, but you don't have any doubt that Putin is behind what is happening on the ground, do you?
No, look, Merkel talked to Putin and basically said these OSCE people that they sent over there that were kidnapped, you need to let them go. It was Putin who made that call. If it had been, she would not have been able to convince the pro-Russian separatists if this was simply something they were doing on their own. So clearly Putin has the upper hand here. He's holding all the cards. He sees weakness from the West, weakness from leadership here in the United States, inability to speak with a united voice with Europe, and he's taking advantage of it.
Dan Coats, thank you so much, Senator. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Good talking to you.